Alright kids, we're very excited. We're getting ready to watch Donner Pass, The Road to Survival. I actually really like the artwork on this VHS case. I hope you could see it. I was not excited about this at all, and I was arguing with Jay. But now I will say, kind of glancing at the back, I don't know what this is going to be. In my mind, I don't know if this is a retelling of the Donner Party story. And did that happen in the mountains? Or the Mount Everest in the snow? I am ignorant when it comes to history, but we're going to find out, and I'm going to fill you in as I watch it. Okay, 30 minutes in, and so far you've got a group of travelers. They are trying to make it to California in, the Old West times, and they're going from Springfield. We can't figure out which Springfield, so let's just say it's the one that the Simpsons are from. You've got George Donner, who was elected to lead the wagon train, and they're all trying to make it across, and they're realizing it's a real bitch. They've lost like 7 wagons so far, tons of supplies, and right at about the 25-minute mark, they've already banished somebody, and Indians have attacked. So they get right into it. We're only 30 minutes in, and all that's happened. So I'm interested enough to keep going, so I will. Okay, so we've just completed another 25 minutes or so of the Donner Pass movie, and it's actually getting fairly interesting. We've got the party. They've just been attacked by the Indians, and that's all done. The Indians have ran away, or, some of the cowboys, the Donner Party was killed, some of the Indians killed. And you've got a group, one guy, he's been shunned out of the Donner Party for some kind of bullshit reason. And so he's off on his own. You got some people going back and forth trying to get supplies, and you've got a snowstorm coming. And this Mr. Donner is a real asshole. He won't listen to anybody. He thinks because he's old he knows everything. He's a big fat guy that doesn't know jack shit, and they're about to find that out. The snow's coming, and instead of trying to keep going and make it across the friggin' mountain, they just build cabins to settle in for the winter. How the fuck do you just build a cabin in the middle of nowhere? Where do you get this shit and just settle in for winter? No, you hustle and get the hell out of there. I couldn't believe that. So in their little community that they've just built up to survive the winter, one of the mothers goes to the ranch hands and says, "Have you seen the girls? They went to pick berries or twigs and berries." They went to pick twig and berries. And he's like, "I'll go look for them." So he goes looking. And the scene cuts to the girls and the dog just hanging out, picking twig and berries, and they're like walking around, and all of a sudden this hellacious Jaws music starts. And it sounded a lot like Jaws, like dun 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 dun. What's this for? Why all this build-up in tension? You don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm like, what's the danger? And you see the guy running, getting his gun out, and he's trying to find the girls. I'm like, why is he in such a hurry? Why does he think they're in danger? It turns out they are, so he was right. But it really was weird. This Jaws music. Then all of a sudden, a big grizzly bear comes out of nowhere. And let me say, this is a classic scene. No CGI, no puppet animals. This guy, this actor, wrestled the bear. Wrestled it. Had to fight this bear. Had to save these girls like the character did. But it was really a bear fight. I was very impressed. I haven't seen that in a movie. I don't know if I've ever seen. I feel like Brad Pitt did a movie where he had to wrestle a bear. But I don't know that it was even really him. Howdy, kids. Jay and I have just finished watching Donner Pass, The Road to Survival. This was the final viewing. So basically, you had 3 factions. That'd be 6. You had 3 factions. You had the dad out there trying to get back to get help to come back to get all these people. You had 17 of them that had went off on their own to try to make it, to town. And then you had a bundle of them stay in a cabin. The people in the cabin, right away, you could tell, like, the patriarch, the old Uncle Billy or whoever he is, immediately was eyeing the dog sitting on the chair when he walked into the cabin. You knew things weren't going to end well for, poor Scruffy. And, yeah, woof, they didn't. So, that guy was always creepy, because every time you looked at anybody after that scene, you didn't know if he was eyeing the poor kid. Poor little Timmy's going to get eaten too if you're not careful around Uncle Billy. So, you got them in the cabin dealing with it, but they don't really deal with cannibalism first. The party out in the snow, they're dropping left and right. And that was a little confusing too, because they kept going back and forth. You couldn't tell who was there, who had died. The way it was filmed is really cool, because it's out all in the snow, out in the elements. You know, this was made in 1978, so you know they had to deal with nature. The acting actually wasn't that bad. I mean, it's a TV movie or something you'd watch in school as a kid, but some of it's over the top. It definitely had the Western feel, and especially when they realized they were going to starve to death and they had to start eating people, that you could tell some of them like had the sick look on their face, and they went into arguing back and forth, and they actually didn't even decide to start eating people till quite a few people had died. They might have all, or most of them, even made it. In the end, I think half of them survived, something like that. So I liked doing this. Jay and I had fun. It was not a movie that I would normally pick to watch, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. We picked the first movie we found. So if you would like me to try this again, my little mystery movie, especially finding them at yard sales and stuff, I'll do it. You just let me know. I just might have to change up the rules a bit somehow. I don't always want to have to watch a gem, but I don't want to watch like 7 turds in a row either. Not that I would consider this a turd, but there's no way I would have watched this. I don't know. I think it'd be good for schools and stuff. I really wish they would have saw some, you know, we'd have got to see somebody just taking a big old bite out of somebody's fat ass. And that didn't happen. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that'll happen in the next movie we watch. That's all for this week. Coffee Doug.